writing promises help people stay invested or excited. Just
Okay,
like how we
pause.
talked about with.
Yes.
The problem with writing promises is that unless they are very explicitly shown, you can't prove that it was a quote unquote promise. Like the Chekhov's gun thing where it's like, oh, if you show a gun on the wall, it has to be used later. That's more of like a thing you should do. It's like if the camera slowly pans over to a gun on the wall, it's probably going to be important. But if a gun on the wall is a set piece in a character's room or whatever, then it's not a promise that the gun's going to be used or anything.
Like
It's a
with,
guideline, not a rule.
like
It just
uh,
could be
Yeah,
like set
exactly.
dressing, saying, "Hey, this person likes guns."
like in Thriller Bark when Lola gave Nami the Vivre card. It was just a nice piece of interaction, and then it was been.
I think that was a promise because that was Big Mom's card. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah, but she just said her mom was a pirate, not though she was a freaking Yonko.
I'm I'm pretty sure that there's okay because the V-Ray card right after that ended up being important to Ace's whole thing. So I doubt that Oda would have had Lola give
No, no,
Nami
no. Ace's Vivre card was the Chekhov's gun.
no okay I'm saying Lola's V-Ray card is also
Things
important
where
because
Also,
I doubt Oda would write the V-Ray card say that this is someone else's V-Ray card and it just not be important.
I mean, the only prominent female pirate we've heard about in the New World is Big Mom at that time, because Garb talked about the Yonko. So you could that would be the only through line you could make at that point was, oh, it might be Big Mom because she's the only female pirate we've ever heard of in the New World.
But Big
No.
Mom
Yeah,
wasn't, as far as I remember,
Or maybe
Big
just
Mom wasn't even mentioned till around the end of Return to Fishman Island.
well, her
Fishman
name
Island.
wasn't mentioned until like later. Her name wasn't mentioned. Only a sort of silhouette back at the end of in his lobby.
Well, did Garb not name drop her?
Oh,
No.
good.
Mm-hmm.
No name drop. So it could have been that he was still working on a name for her, which is why like he didn't have Lola explicitly state a name.
Yeah, even if Big Mom herself was not established, there's
Alright.
no way the viewer card wasn't going to be important.
No, I disagree. Because, remember Jinbei? Yosaku mentioned Jinbei
Oh, yeah, he
when they
was
were
named-
going to Arlong Park, and he did not show up until Impel
Okay,
Down. So,
but Jinbei still ended up being important. Doesn't matter how long it takes. The point is that it was important.
Yeah.
It was a promise.
no, what I'm saying is they don't have to. Well, they don't have to actually exist in the person's mind before they have to be important. So
I mean,
it's a
yeah,
it's a
but
50-50 there.
the promise is that the thing will be important later.
Uh,
'Cause remember that silhouette of Kaido?
yeah. But I don't think
Um,
I still don't think Lola mentioning that her mom was a pirate means much.
It-
Also, that's
her,
kind
men-
of a
her mentioning is important. The V-Ray card is important.
well, it doesn't have to be important.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't introduce something like
it doesn't
that.
have to be, but it was.
Yeah, but it didn't have to be. It wasn't a promise.
It was a promise because why would he Why would he make Lola give Nami a V-Ray card?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be a
someone else's V-Ray card.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a promise if she didn't give. If she just mentioned she had a mom who was a pirate in the New World, then that wouldn't be a promise. But her giving the Vivert card was like, oh, something's gonna be happening with this, because why else do we have this this item in this, like, in the back pocket of the story?
It was for safekeeping. She was trying to be nice, keeping her friend safe. That was it.
Well, yeah.
Okay, by giving her the V-Ray card of an important person.
But what? I guess this goes into
A potential ally.
I guess this goes into execution.
I have a daughter.
Like, imagine if they went to the New Worlds and they decided to follow the Vivre card and enter Big Mom's domain without going to Fishman Island. What would happen there? That would be an interesting thing, but
I honestly think they still would have gone to Punk Hazard, because if they heard that radio signal for help, they would have probably like, the Beaver card ain't going anywhere.
this does this a lot, so I can't even. Oda does this a lot. I can't even say if this is or isn't a promise with a full-heartedness. So
And also the fact that we're even debating about this is proof that there are no such thing as promises.
yeah, that's true. All right, time to continue. Unless anyone else has something to say.
Oh no, I'm good. Continue.
With plot, it can cover large or small portions of a story. Promises are things that technically fall under the same category as foreshadowing, although there is a bit of complexity to it. If something is hinted at strongly but never happens, is it considered foreshadowing? Or is foreshadowing only a thing if something happens and you can look back and point to where it might have been? Well, not really.
All right, let's
Pause.
Let's see this. Differences in foreshadowing and promises. A minute detail can be retroactively made into foreshadowing later in the series if the author decides. Writing promises tend to be more. That's kind of saying the same thing. It's just, payoff.
I think writing
I think
promises
it's
are
just
set up
trying
and
to say
payoff,
one's
and
more subtle, the
foreshadowing
other
is
one's more
hints
out
that are
there.
given.
Isn't this kind of just payoff?
Yeah.
Because
It's like Sanji and the Prince stuff. You could say that was just subtle foreshadowing too.
Yeah, that's certainly
It's
that's
Sanji
certainly.
calling himself.
You could, but that could just be him being cheeky.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at the time, yeah, but now looking back, it's foreshadowing.
Okay, but is it foreshadowing if when he wrote it, it was not planned at all?
Technically,
But there's
not.
there is no answer to that because we don't know when Oda planned it.
Yeah, that's it. Even if he didn't
Yeah.
plan it, he could just
That's all.
use that. So even if it wasn't
Like hockey, I think.
even if it wasn't planned, it could still have been a
Like-
foreshadow on an
like
on a,
Shanks scaring away the Sea King, that wasn't foreshadowing. Oda did not come up with Conqueror's Hockey, but
He could've.
retroactively that is something that Oda did confirm
Oh.
because Hockey wasn't even a thing until way later. But retroactively, you can make it so that it appears that this is that this was the first sign of Conqueror's Hockey. So it wasn't foreshadowing; it just adapted to the story, or the story adapted to it, whichever way you want to go. So unless the author comes out and says, "Hey, I planned this," or "Hey, this is foreshadowing something else," then there's no way to know what's a promise or not. Because even if you think it's implied, someone else could go, "No, I don't think so."
You're right.
I see what you mean. Yeah, because given what this guy said in the past, it seems like he made himself a bunch of promises in his own head that Oda did not follow to his letter. Therefore,
That
he thinks
too.
one piece is
Oh,
better.
that would have been
Yeah.
that would have been a good thing to keep when I was streaming this, but I don't want to get too upset about that. Anywho, let's just see what else he has to say on this.
If the story
nonsense.
strongly suggests an element and the author abandons it, then it's simply a case of the author failing to deliver on a promise.
No?
Progress is the journey
Technically,
to
but-
get to that promise, and the payoff is the result of the promise. When things are set up by the author, it's incredibly important to focus on fulfilling every aspect of the 3 Ps. Typically speaking,
That right
each
there is
P
a writing
is just
promise. I would say that's a writing promise because the whole goal of the story is he needs to learn all 4 elements.
Exactly.
Well, that's also the main plot of the story. Yeah, who cares?
Aang, you gotta defeat the villain.
Okay. That's what he sounds like.
as important as the other, even though payoff feels the most gratifying. If you promise something, but there's very little in terms of writing about the progress of this promise, the payoff can be unsatisfying. On the other hand, if you promise something and show progress, but the payoff isn't good, it can feel like a waste of time, which goes back how it feels to read. It's not very satisfying. These are very important writing concepts.
Wait,
Executing the
pause.
3 P.
Yeah.
back in that screen where you're showing like a bad reward with Ace and Luffy, is he saying that Sabo himself is a bad reward? Like, because that's kind of what I'm getting at, considering
That's a very interesting point
it's
there.
the whole. But again, I can't say for certain because he hasn't shared his thoughts on
This
Dressrosa
isn't
yet.
speculation. Yes, we can only
This is
presume
all
with some of the
speculation.
with practically all of these.
How much longer y'all got?
Hey,
How much more of the video?
Too long.
We have one
5 more
left.
hours.
5 hours.
What have y'all been doing all this time?
Was the better question is what has the video been doing?
Wondering what he's doing, and also OBS crashed.
So y'all think it's gonna make a good episode, a good stream?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Most of
Yeah,
the
the
video was
B
lost
list
to time.
exists.
Nothing matters.
It'll make it stream.
Well, unless I'm able to recover the lost footage, it really doesn't matter.
That sucks. So it just crashed on y'all, and it just.
Never mind
Yeah.
if it crashed. I wonder if it was even gonna save as a video when I stopped it streaming it.
And it did not, sadly.
But at any rate, we still have the now, and well, yeah.
How much longer are y'all going for? Because you can't do the whole thing.
Who knows?
Yes, we can.
We can try.
We're going for as long as we can survive for.
We might hit the actual point of the video at some point, and that.
But will it be worth it?
I haven't lost my
No,
mind
of
yet.
course
That's for future me to worry about.
Yeah, you know what they say. Yesterday was the past. Tomorrow is the future. Something, something. That's why it's called a gift.
Present.
Oh, come on.
Are y'all okay? You guys are under no obligation to do this. Is my thing. We at least got revisited.
We're the B-listers. Get out of
You guys
here.
were giving content, but we're giving more content.
Hey, it's an interesting experience. That's all I gotta say.
You want to double up on content? Okay, you do. That's fine. That's cool. But hey, y'all at least know what you're getting into whenever we do it.
Yeah, you're just jealous we're making more content. No need to hide it.
I'm sorry. Did y'all lose the episode? What content are you making?
I mean,
Exactly.
It's content for
I
ourselves.
mean, technically, we lost content, but at the same time, we didn't lose content considering he didn't talk about anything for the past hour.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, when did
Nuts.
he actually talk about the One Piece with Marineford?
An hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah, or 2
No,
minutes.
one minute in.
Well, that was about it.
Yeah, at least we got
Hey.
that saved. Potentially. So yeah. This guy is something else.
Okay. Well, good. My ride's here. Good luck, y'all. Stop watching this. It's not worth it.
It is worth it.
I don't want
Go
to.
enjoy
I don't
your
want to go
lemonade.
home. I don't want to go home past midnight and then they find y'all still going. I don't want to do that.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Was that a warning, or was that something else? Ooh.
They just can't do too
It
much
was
content.
complete.
Just like
For a reason.
it's like a little checkup saying, "You guys okay? You guys all right?"
You're good? Alright. You sure? You sure you're good? Maybe you shouldn't stop watching this? No? Alright. Anyway, let's continue on.
Very satisfying. These are very important writing concepts. Executing the 3 Ps while in tandem with the 4 circles in the box is the formula for how to write a good story, although even that is simplifying things down.